after this one. Is the richest person? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Okay. Okay, let's see. Biggest houses in the world. Let's see. Huh. Huh. Okay. France. Okay. Okay, so you got richest. Okay, biggest house. How to measure happy? Is it most vacation days? Most days at the beach? I'm going to think about that one. Not quite sure on happiest. Back to research.
Hey, Pastor Steve, you in here? Hey, I was wondering if maybe you needed something.
What was that? Oh, hey, Hal. I didn't even hear you knock. Come on in.
Okay, well, thanks for the invite there, Pastor Steve. I smelled the coffee pot, and I saw that you hadn't been downstairs by the coffee for a while. Thought maybe you could use some more, so I thought I'd come and check. Just wanted to see what you're up to.
Well, yeah, come on. I'm okay for coffee right now. Thanks, though. That's good stuff. But yeah, why don't you come take a look and see what I'm doing here? I'd love your eyes and your input.
Okay, thanks for the invite, Pastor Steve. Oh, looks like you're doing something on the computer. Let me have a seat and take a look here. Huh. What's going on here?
Well, see, I'm trying to research and find out who are the most blessed people in the world, and internet's great for everything. So I was thinking maybe I could search and find out like who are the most blessed people if I research it here, and I could maybe make a list and see if I could find out what I can do to get myself as blessed as possible. So that's what I'm researching. You want to take a look at my research so far?
Yeah, okay, Pastor Steve, you're saying you are using your computer over here to see if you can research who is the most blessed person on Earth? Well, or the most blessed people. I guess I'm open to a whole group I could learn from. Okay, the most blessed people, and you're looking this up on the internet. All right, I'm curious. Tell me, what kinds of things have you looked up? Why do you seem to think the internet would know who is the most blessed?
Are you asking why I would use the internet to find out on my computer here who's the most blessed?
Mm-hmm.
It's the internet, Al. Don't you get it? This is the 21st century. That's where you find answers. You look things up on the internet. Haven't you ever heard of it?
Well, sure, I've heard of the internet there, Pastor Steve. I just know there's some things that you don't find there on a screen. But all right, I'm curious. You've made me curious enough. Tell me, what is it that you were using to find out who is the most blessed? How would you know, and how would the internet figure that out? What do you think blessing looks like, Pastor Steve? Maybe that's where we got a little breakdown.
Okay, that's a fair question. I bet you thought I was doing something silly like typing in the question, who's the most blessed person in the world? I know that wouldn't work.
Oh, good, Pastor Steve. I'm glad to know that you know that would not be helpful. I'm just curious, what did you search for then?
Easy. I figured you could measure who is most blessed in the world with things like who is the richest and who has the biggest house. You know what? I could use your help though on another one. I was trying to think, how would you measure who is the happiest person on earth? And I was thinking maybe it's like days at the beach, or maybe the most number of vacations. I don't know. Maybe it could be most number of roller coasters or ice cream cones eaten. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, Pastor Steve, I don't think that's what you want to search for.
Well, okay. What should I be searching for then? Should I be using a different word than biggest house? Should it be mansion?
Yeah, but Pastor Steve, I think maybe part of the problem here is none of those are actually how you measure blessing. I think you may have just assumed that whoever's got more stuff or more money or bigger pile of possessions or more, like you say, vacation days. You seem to think that's what blessing looks like, but I don't think that's really what blessing is, and I don't think you can find real blessing by searching for it on the internet.
You don't think I can find it searching? Do you think I'm maybe using the wrong search engine? Are you like not a Google person? Are you a Bing? Or don't tell me you use Yahoo. What should I be searching for? Which program should I use? Is that what you're telling me? I should change which program I'm using to search for blessing on the internet?
No, Pastor Steve, what I'm trying to tell you is I don't think you can use any search engine on the internet. I don't think you can find blessing the way you're already looking for it. You've already decided you think you know that blessing is about having more money or a bigger house or more stuff like that, when I don't think that's what Jesus tells us that real blessing looks like. I think Jesus has a way of defining blessing that turns all of our old expectations upside down.
You're telling me you don't think blessing looks like having more money or a bigger house or more stuff?
Mm-mm. Well, not if you actually listen to Jesus, Pastor Steve, and I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to do, Pastor Steve.
What do you mean listening to Jesus? I know for a fact Jesus could not have had an opinion on what to search on the internet for to look up blessing, because they didn't have the internet back then, Al.
Yeah, Pastor Steve, my friend, I know that they did not have the internet back in Bible times. My point is to say to you that if you ask Jesus what blessing looks like, or who God blesses especially, he doesn't answer by saying, look for the richest people, or the guy with the biggest house, or the person who ate the most ice cream cones, or vacation day. None of those. So it doesn't matter whether they had the internet to search that information out or not. That's not what blessing looks like. It just ain't how it works, Pastor Steve.
Okay then, Mr. Smart. What should I be looking for? What does it look like to be blessed? If I want to be blessed, then what do you think I should be looking for?
Well, Pastor Steve, I mean, this is just a matter, I think, of listening to Jesus' own words.
What do you mean, Al?
I mean, like Jesus says in what we sometimes call the Beatitudes, he announces where God's focus is for blessing. And Jesus doesn't seem to think that God's giving out blessing like a gold star for having a big house, or as a reward for being richer, or anything else like that. Jesus says God's looking out especially for the people most in need, the people who are hurting the most. God's looking out for, well, you know how it goes?
Sure, I know how the Beatitudes go, but just to prove to me that you know, how about you say them, and I'll tell you if you're right.
Mm-hmm. Sure, Pastor Steve, I'll play your little game. I know what he's really up to. He's forgotten them. All right. Jesus says things like, blessed are those who mourn, because they'll be comforted. Or blessed are those who are meek, because they'll inherit the earth. Blessed are those who are made fun of, or persecuted for doing what's right, or for justice. Or blessed are those who are peacemakers. Blessed are those who are hungering and thirsting for justice to be done. That kind of thing. In other words, not the world's winners, but the people who are struggling and who are trying to do what's right, even if they're not richest or have the biggest house or the newest, fanciest stuff.
blessing isn't the same thing as having a big pile of money or getting to go on lots of vacations. That's not what blessing really looks like. And Jesus points us in a different direction.
So hold on, are you telling me, Al, that all my research about who has the most money or the biggest house or trying to figure out who is the happiest person on earth, that none of that is really a key to figuring out who God is blessing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Pastor Steve, but I tell you, all those notes you took about who's got the most money and stuff, I just throw those all out. That's not what blessing looks like. In fact, if anything, Pastor Steve, I'd say if we're listening to Jesus, the place to look for God's blessing is in all the people and places that everybody else overlooks. The people who don't get a parade, or the people who aren't celebrated on magazines because they're the fanciest or the richest or have the most power or whatever. Jesus says God's always looking for the people who are forgotten and the people who are struggling, the people who are trying to do what's right, even if they don't get credit or a parade. God's kind of blessing is always looking for the people who get overlooked.
Boy, Al, if that's true, then I shouldn't be looking on the computer for celebrities somewhere else. I should be looking for people right around me in my own neighborhood, right in my own life, for signs of God's blessing. And maybe what I should be doing is looking for how God's helping to comfort people who are sad. Or maybe to look for who are the people who are trying to do right, or the people who are trying to make peace, or the people who are showing mercy. Just like you say, all the places that the internet and the covers of magazines and TV shows don't look.
Yeah, I think you're on to something there, Pastor Steve. I think blessing isn't something far away or just for a very few. I think Jesus talks about God giving blessing all around, especially in all the places that people overlook. So, yeah, I mean, every day is a chance for you to get to see God's blessing in action and for you to show blessing to other people. Maybe especially the folks who need a reminder that God's love is for them too.
And then, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize it. You, Al, you were just showing me God's blessing, even when you came in the room and you were just trying to be kind to me and offer me a refill on my coffee if I needed one. That's what blessing looks like. Like Jesus says, blessed are the merciful, just small acts of kindness. That can be a part of being blessed and showing blessing too. I've been looking in all the wrong places, and you helped me to spot God's blessing is all sorts of ordinary places.
Not only that, Pastor Steve, but it means that each of us could be a part of God's work to bless other people anywhere we happen to be on an ordinary day. We don't have to go somewhere fancy like, New York City or Hollywood or to a rich mansion, but right where we are, God's blessing will be happening all around us, and we could be a part of it, all of us, right where we are, even like you say, in small acts of kindness.
Thanks, Al. You've really helped me know where to look for God's blessing, and you've just been a blessing in my life. I'll tell you what if we leave this room and go out actually into the world where we could maybe participate in God's blessing all around us?
That sounds good to me. Let's close this up. I think some of that blessing should include some coffee for me. Let's go get some then out into the world.